Hello, welcome. I hope you're doing well. Over the past few weeks, I haven't really been making much content just because I've kind of been in a slump, both reading-wise, but also mostly creativity-wise. I really did not feel like filming anything, I really didn't feel like making any videos, and so I took a little bit of a break, and I figured that a really good way to kind of get back into the flow of making videos is doing these two book tags that are way overdue at this point. I posted my international booktuber tag video. This is the second of the two tags that I've been tagged in over the past few weeks. As you can see from the title, this is the What Am I Known For book tag. I was tagged by Joe from Joe Spivey. Thank you, Joe, for tagging me. I will leave the link to his video for this challenge and then also a link to his channel. For any of you who are interested in checking out his videos, you can head on over. This tag is basically a tag that kind of reflects a little bit about your channel and how you think about your channel and kind of where you think it's at right now and where you want it to go. I thought it was a pretty neat idea for a video, and I feel like the timing is especially good because I am coming up on my 6-month anniversary of starting my BookTube channel. So this kind of little mini reflection, I think it's coming in pretty well timed. There are only 6 questions and we're just gonna get straight into them. So question 1 is, what do you want your channel to be known for? And I can't say that I've reflected all that much about something that I want to be known for. I don't really know if I kind of want to fall into like one specific thing that I'm known for. I kind of like the idea of making the kind of videos that I feel like, and I also feel like if I'm going to be doing BookTube for a long time, I am gonna have to change things up as I go and, you know, be able to do a bit of this, and then when I get tired of that, do a bit of that, and then when I want to try this thing, then I can do that. And so I don't really want to box myself in. BookTube allows for quite a variety of videos. You know, there's sit-down videos and there's vlogs, and then there's tags and there's reviews and there's wrap-ups and there's hauls and, you know, the very, very classic things. And then people kind of come up with their own unique ideas, and then those are really good, so you want to try them. And I do make those videos, but it's not kind of, I don't really like stick to a kind of formula, at least so far. And it's in part because I've only really just started my BookTube channel, and so I'm kind of still figuring out what it is that works for me, what kind of videos I enjoy making and what kind of videos aren't really my vibe and that kind of thing. I'm still finding my footing, and so I don't really feel like there's anything yet that's very much me and my channel's identity. There might be in like a year's time. In fact, I think it would be really cool if in a year's time I've figured out enough that I kind of have my thing, you know? I would really, really like that. But as of this moment, I don't think I've made enough videos. I don't think I've tried enough videos and kind of done enough of any video to establish that that's something that I'm like, that's a staple you can find guaranteed on my channel. Does it make any sense? So basically, what do I want my channel to be known for? I don't really know. And I don't really know that I want my channel to be known for like one thing specifically. I don't like the idea of boxing myself in. But I guess like in a more general direction, maybe I would like my channel to be known as a space that covers quite a variety of books, that I'm up to reading more or less anything, that I'm not very genre specific, but that I kind of try a bunch of things because I'm bound to find something I like in any and every genre. I have a pretty diverse reading taste, so I'd like that to be something you can associate with my channel, that you're never really sure what book I'm picking up next, and that it could be historical fiction, it could be fantasy, it could be a mystery, it could be a thriller, it could be literary fiction, it could be a classic. Who knows? No one does. I think like that's an association I would like to have, but again, I don't think I've made enough videos for that to be something that's like well established yet. And so I'm kind of on that little, we're all on our own little reading journeys, I guess, and like this is mine. And then I think maybe it would be nice to eventually kind of figure an aesthetic or like a style of video that is also something that you can associate with my channel. I think that would be nice too. But again, it's not something, I'm still experimenting a little bit. I'm still trying some new things here and there, still figuring out what I like, what I don't like, what I want more of, and what I end up not wanting to do. So as of right now, unclear. what I want my channel to be known for. I just want to feel like my channel belongs on BookTube is kind of what I'm going for right now. And then maybe in a year's time, I'll have a much clearer idea of what I would like people to be associating with my channel. Question 2 is, what kind of content can you find on my channel? Right now, if you check out the videos I've posted so far, a little bit of everything. I have some bookshelf related videos, I have some hauls, I have some wrap-ups, I have now a few tags as well, I have some reading vlogs, so kind of all the classics that you tend to find on most BookTube channels you can find here as well. And it's been intentional because I started my BookTube channel quite recently. I started it in the very end of October, basically November. And so it's not been all that long since I kind of threw myself out here, and I intentionally decided to kind of try a little bit of everything, both so that when people find my channel, they can quite quickly and easily figure out whether or not they as a reader vibe with me as a reader and my content and whether they want to stick around or not. And also for my own sake, because I figured it was a good way to find out what kind of videos I'll enjoy making, what kind of videos I want to make more of, what kind of videos might not really be my thing, and just kind of, find my footing and figure out what kind of videos I enjoy making the most. So as it is right now, you'll find quite a varied collection of videos on my channel, and I feel like it'll probably stay that way for a little while because I think it'll take a little more time for me, definitely more videos for me to figure out exactly what kind of videos I enjoy making the most, and maybe what videos I shouldn't be spending time making when I could be making others and that kind of thing. So I've already noticed that, when I look back at my BookTube noob video, I'm already kind of doing things differently than what I initially thought I would be doing, and that comes with, trying something, realizing that's a lot of fun, and wanting to do more of it. For example, I've realized I really enjoy making reading vlogs, and that's not something that I initially thought I'd be doing a lot of, but my reading vlog videos are probably my favorite videos that I've made so far. Basically, the classic kind of BookTube videos are what you can find on my channel as well. I have a few series going that I guess might be more kind of my thing. I have a Scandinavian literature series that I've only just started, and then I also have a bookish questions and discussions series that I've got going. Those might be the videos that are the most, I don't know, unique to me, or like maybe the kind of videos that are not as commonplace on BookTube. But then you'll find all of the classic stuff as well. But yeah, a little bit of everything at the moment, and then maybe it'll be narrowed down or maybe widened even further in the future, who knows. Question 3 is, what is the most represented genre of books on your channel? And I don't really know that I have one, not yet anyway. Again, it comes with being a relatively new channel, I think, and me not having made all that many videos yet, is that I don't really think that this is a question I can properly answer right now. And the thing is too, I read quite a bit of everything. I can say that one of my favorite genres, and maybe the genre that I like to look at the most, is historical fiction, but it's usually mixed with other genres too. And I'm constantly in the mood for something else. Occasionally there will be a thriller here, and there might be some fantasy there, and literary fiction is something that I've fallen in quite recently, and I want to get more into classics, and I kind of want to read everything. I think I want to aim at trying to not have a genre be more represented than others, and if so, then at least have it be a few genres and not just one alone that kind of sticks out. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I was a genre reader for the longest time. When I was younger, all I was reading was fantasy, and I didn't want to read anything else, and I had a grand time with it, and that's fine. But I really want to try and read a little bit of everything, and I don't really want for a single genre to kind of overshadow the rest. Again, I don't think I've read enough to properly answer this question. Maybe historical fiction and or mysteries at this moment in time, but honestly, I'm not really sure. I'm not certain. I wonder if any of you have any impressions when it comes to this. Is there a particular genre that kind of sticks out on my channel? Maybe. Let me know in that case, because I'm blanking honestly. Question 4 is, what book are you known for championing? And I think this means, what book do you talk about the most? What book do you recommend the most? What book just kind of shows up on your channel the most often? I'm assuming that it's something along these lines that this question means, and it can't be any other than The Count of Monte Cristo. If it's any book, no matter what this question means, I'm sure that this is the answer. This is a book that I have not shut up about since I read it. Even before I finished it, I was talking about it nonstop. If there's one bookish thing you need to know about me, it's that this is my favorite book of all time. I love this book. I love it so, so much. It is so good. You know what? Actually, a little tangent, but I have seen on social media that there is not just one, but 2 The Count of Monte Cristo adaptations coming. This summer, there's a French adaptation of The Count of Monte Cristo coming to cinemas in France, and I'm hoping also some sort of streaming service that I can access. And then also, there's an English language one coming at some point in the next few years with Sam Claflin. It's like they know. It's like they know that I've asked for it. And I think they're both... I know that the English language one is going to be an 8-episode series, which is... Yes, because it needs it. It needs it. I'm not sure. I don't remember if the French language one is a movie or a series. I think it was a movie, but it's, you know, in the original language, so I trust them to do it well. Needless to say, I am so excited for those adaptions. I cannot wait. But yeah, back to the question at hand. What book are you known for championing? I'm sure it's this one. It has to be this one. This is the book that I need everyone to read, and I want everyone to read, and I know it's big. I know it's big, but trust me, it's worth it. And it's really not. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I say this all the time. I know other people describe this book as that way as well. It's a marathon, not a sprint. But the chapters are written in a way that it feels perfectly natural to read a chapter, put it down, get back to it later, and read another chapter and put it down. They're like episodes that have their own start and ending. And while they're all so compelling and you want to keep reading, it also feels very natural to just read it a few chapters at a time, or even one chapter at a time. It's actually so manageable, believe me. And if this is too overwhelming for you, there is an abridged version that I also think is very good. I read the manga first, then I read the abridged version, and then I read this version because I needed more. Each time I needed more. I feel like I take every opportunity I can to talk about this book. I mention this book in almost every one of my videos. So definitely the answer to this question. Question 5 is kind of related. It's, what authors feature regularly on your channel? So like, what are your favorite authors? What are the authors you talk about the most? And while The Count of Monte Cristo is my favorite book, I don't really talk all that much about Dumas, who is the author of the book, Alexandre Dumas, who wrote this book. I don't really talk about him all that much. I haven't read any of his other work. I'm a little scared to. I want to, but I'm a little scared to because I want to love everything he's written. So I'm putting off reading more from Dumas. I feel like so far, considering that I've only made like, I don't know, I've made what, 30 videos? I don't really think, and considering also that I've made an effort to make as many kinds of videos as possible, I don't really think that there have been all that many authors that have appeared more often, or like more often than others to a noteworthy degree. Maybe Younespe, who I made a whole video specifically reading Younespe books, and it's the only one of its kind on my channel as of right now. So so maybe Younespe, but like I feel like I've only mentioned him in like 2 or 3 videos. I really don't know. I don't think that I've had the opportunity yet to talk a lot about my favorite authors or talk a lot about one author in particular. It's more books that feature more often rather than authors themselves. I feel like by the end of this year, this will be different, and definitely next year, because I'm going to try and read more books from authors that I've already read, because there are so many books that I really like by authors that I've only read that one thing from, and I want to try more. And so I feel like at this point next year, I'll have a much more solid answer, a much more like a good answer for this question. As of right now, I don't think I've had enough. I don't think I've had the chance yet to kind of have one or two or even like a handful of authors that appear more frequently than others? I don't think so. Maybe Tolkien. Tolkien might actually be a more appropriate answer for this, because I've talked about, I finished reading the Lord of the Rings series this year, and then also I've hauled The Hobbit and the Silmarillion, and I'm also prioritizing The Hobbit this year, and so I feel like I've mentioned The Hobbit and The Return of the King in quite a few videos at this point, so maybe Tolkien and UNESCO perhaps are the most appropriate answers I have for this question right now, but I think my answer is going to look very different in a year from now. The sixth question is, what can people expect in the future? Do you have any future plans? I do have plenty of video ideas, plenty of video plans that I hope I'm able to follow through on. I have a few more videos coming in my Scandinavian literature series this summer, so that's definitely coming, both the Scandinavian literature one, but also the that kind of like bookish questions and discussions series that I've got going. I have more videos coming in both of those. I do also plan on making a lot more reading vlogs. I really enjoy making reading vlogs. It's something that I didn't expect to enjoy making, but after I tried it the first time and I was so happy with that video that I made another one, and I was so happy with that one, and now reading vlogs are just kind of, I really enjoy making them. I think they're a lot of fun, and they give me such a great opportunity and chance to talk about the books that I read. And I notice when I talk about the books that I read, I kind of pick up on a lot more things and reflect a lot more on what I'm reading than when I don't also just talk about the books that I'm reading. So it's kind of good for me as a reader too, to make these reading vlogs. And I plan on hopefully making at least one reading vlog a month, depending on what I read. And I like theming them, so I'm probably going to keep doing that as well. And while we're on the topic of reading vlogs, I plan on making a reading vlog for my experience of reading Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. One of my bookish resolutions for this year was to face a fear that I have, which this year it's Jane Austen. Specifically, I want to read Pride and Prejudice. I want to make that a reading vlog. That's the current idea, that's the current plan. And yeah, so more reading vlogs. I want to make wrap-ups either monthly or bi-monthly. Of course, I was not in the like video making mood until now, so I never made a March wrap-up. I do plan on making an April one. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to make it a March and April wrap-up or if I'm going to make the March and April one separate, but I do intend on making a wrap-up come the end of April, so you can expect that as well. I have a bunch of random bookish video ideas that I'll be making every once in a while. They'll be spread out. And then of course, anytime I go anywhere now, I'm going to get as many bookish things as possible into a video to share with you guys. I think that would be fun as well, but I don't have any of those kinds of plans right now. But hopefully there will be more of that. So I mean, future plans, nothing too like grandiose or major. I'm starting to find the kinds of videos that I really enjoy making, and I'll be making more of those. And maybe at some point I'll get tired of making them and I'll start making more of other things. I guess you'll be able to pick up on where I'm kind of landing in what I enjoy doing based on the kind of videos you see me posting. And then maybe, you know, maybe I'm making quite a few reading vlogs in the next few months, and then you see me slowly starting to do other things more often and less of that. And I kind of want to allow myself to do that. I don't want to box myself in, but right now I really feel like making reading vlogs. I really enjoy them and they're beneficial to me as a reader, I've discovered, so it's a bonus. I'm just kind of figuring it out as I go and kind of winging it, and it's working for me so far and I'm having a blast, so I figure that's what's important, that I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I hope that's okay. I feel like every time I make a new video of a kind that I've already made, I feel like I've done it better than the last time, which is nice to feel like I'm slowly improving. I want to kind of work on improving that thing. Yeah, I'm quite happy with how I'm doing things currently, and so I don't really want to like force myself to change anything that I feel like is working for me. So I don't see a need to make a mold and then stick to it. I feel like I'm gonna do with my channel as I do with my books and my reading. I'm gonna do what I feel like doing. I'm a mood reader. I'm clearly also a mood video maker, and we're just gonna go with it and see where it takes us and see what happens. So yeah, for the immediate future, I have a handful of videos that I intend on putting up in the next few weeks, and then it's very much just like what I feel like making in the moment and going with it. You know, it's worked for me so far, so I don't see why it would stop working for me now. Finally, the last thing to do for this tag is to tag some booktubers and to share what I know them for. And I mean, I know of a bunch of booktubers. The first one that actually came to mind was Danny from Danny Dabbles, because she was very quick after I joined BookTube. She was very, very quick with welcoming me. She was very, very kind and brought up my channel in one of her videos. That was very, very sweet of her. And it was so much fun to kind of be brought into the BookTube community so quickly. It kind of really like threw me right into the booktuber community, and it was great. So I know her for that, but I also know from her videos that she's an avid fantasy reader, that she loves reading really big books, chunky books as she calls them, that she doesn't usually read at least my impression is she doesn't usually read very small books. So yeah, she is an avid fantasy reader. She reads other things as well, but it's mostly fantasy, and they're usually thick books. She also makes a lot of list videos, so kind of 5 books that do, and you know, 5 books that da-da-da-da, and 7 books that da-da-da-da, and you know, that kind of video. She makes a lot of those, and I enjoy those videos too. And I have put books on my want to read list thanks to her videos bringing them to my attention. So Danny from Danny Dabbles. I also thought about Nikel's Nook. This is a booktube channel that started around the same time as me, and she has just kind of taken booktube by storm, and she has such a relaxing, calm vibe to her, and I love listening to her talk. She also has the very like classic booktube style. It's very much the kind of, you know, TBRs, wrap-ups, reviews, come book shopping with me, that kind of thing. There's tier rankings and bookish updates of different kinds, and she just has such a relaxed and calm vibe, and I love her videos. I think they're great. She also has a few more personal videos up that I think a lot of people really appreciate. She feels very, I don't know if like approachable is the right word, but she feels very much like she could be sitting right next to me and talking to me, if that makes any sense. I love the vibe of her videos, and she reads some great books. So Nikel's Nook. Then there's also What Ray Reads, which is a channel that kind of is booktube meets lifestyle with an emphasis on books, and I really like her energy and her vibe too. I just really love her energy, and I think her videos are a lot of fun to watch. So What Ray Reads. So if any of you who I've mentioned now are watching this, then consider yourself tagged. And if you feel like making a video of a book tag, then consider this one. But that's it for this tag. I have now completed both of the book tags that I have been tagged in over the past few weeks. I feel very good about it. I'm glad that these videos are finally up. I am up to date. I am no longer behind on any of that kind of stuff, and I feel like I'm back in the flow of things. I feel like I'm back in business, you know. Thank you again to Joe for tagging me, and that was very kind of you. I guess another thing to know about me as a booktuber is that I enjoy book tags, and I'm sad that they've kind of like disappeared, and I'm hoping that they're coming back because they're so much fun. Anyway, that's all from me today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a really, really good week. I hope that the book you're reading is a really, really good one, and I hope I see you in my next video. Bye.